forgot to tell the planners. Let's start with the nation. Jonathan, I didn't authorize group to obtain APC form. Picture here of former Governor of Lagos State, Fashola, and Honorable Minister of How it Works while they were doing inspection at the Eco Bridge by Akmongbo. Broadcaster arraigned for sharing Chrisland Pupil sex tape. Strike extension, students slam ASUU and federal government. Protest in Lagos and Epoma. Petrol scarcity worsens in Abuja. Sokoto Zamfara failed to register pupils for WAEC. And Oyo reintroduces history in schools curriculum. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, so this group that, insisted they bought President Goodluck Jonathan's form, they're called the Headers, an Almajiri group. So I'm trying to get the full names. So Nomadic Headers and Almajiri Community in Nigeria, that's the name of the group, supposedly, that bought President Goodluck Jonathan's APC presidential nomination form for 100 million. So following the name, you would wonder how this money was raised. But President Goodluck Jonathan has come out and washed his hands through his spokesperson, his spokesperson is saying no, that they didn't authorize any group to buy any form for him. He has no such ambition. And I hope...
Is he not still a member of PDP?
Abi? I am seriously hoping. You know that we just woke up and found out that our CBN governor was a party member.
Can I just read part of what, before you finish, of Vino Mokri's tweet? He said, first of all, to whet your appetite, let me say that under the rain and under the sun, I will follow Jonathan. Secondly, I can't ever be one with APC. Thirdly, nobody can shave His Excellency at GJ's Jonathan's head in his absence. Read between the lines, more to come.
So the media advisor, Ikechukwu, is the one who posted this on their Facebook, saying they don't send them message, because everybody now is doing group. The group that bought for the CBN governor, and now the CBN governor is in court. The group too, they not send on now. Just like
okay, so the strike extension, the students have declared today under the aegis of the National Association of Nigerian Students, declared today, May 10th, as a National Day for Action to test run their 3-hour strike across airports, highways in all the various, in 36 states and the FCT. According to them, they're also calling on the National Labour Congress, the TUC, and other civil societies to join them to strike. According to them, they've exhausted all the constructive engagements with government, and they are therefore, because of that, they're going to call on a test run strike today. But the real strike, according to them, will come on after their meeting this weekend. And so they said that it's a precursor, as I said, to a meeting that they're having very soon. What is more painful is that they said that they feel that there are divisive elements within that are stopping these things from the conversations from pulling through. However, the Honorable Mr. Ngige, while speaking to journalists, was saying that ASUU should direct their grievances or to the... I'm trying to see the group he asked them to the Minister of Education, because he's not the direct employer of ASUU. And all the grievances, this renegotiation they're asking for, should be done directly with the Ministry of Education and not through its office. Bottom line, the kids are already saying they're going to strike, and it's going to be a nationwide strike across. And we need to really get to some middle ground in this. Somebody's got to stand down. And I've said it before. Please, we need people to understand to put the children first.
So I wanted to talk about the petrol scarcity in FCT. There is a petrol scarcity there. They were selling petrol for as much as 450 naira per litre. Wow. In front of security agents, in front of the petrol station. Black market dealers were selling the petrol, and for 10 litres was 4,005. And they're trading blame. They're saying it's because of the Salah celebrations that they were not able to load the tankers. But that they shouldn't worry that now that Salah break is over, which I believe was over last week, they will now be able to start to sell.
I read a different reason yesterday.
Because truly, during the Salah break, it was easy at the Jego end of the depot over at my area. And they've resumed since yesterday.
And you are feeling the traffic.
This morning, I had to do a detour to find my way out of that place this morning. So they are fully trying.
Okay, let's take one more story in the nation.
Yes, Sokoto and Zamfara State, according to the head of national office of WAEC, the Sokoto and Zamfara State did not register pupils for the WAEC. They said public schools. They mentioned that the private schools registered, but apparently the public schools didn't register. They didn't give any reason. But they also clarified the fact that out of the 1.6 million candidates that registered, 800,000 was male and about 800,000 also female, which was very good because there's always this discrepancy, but in this WAEC, there were like almost 50-50 of gender balance. Then they mentioned that there was no issue with NIN because some students were complaining that because of NIN, they were not able to register. The explanation given was, even if you don't have NIN and you register, you can always submit your NIN in addition later. So there's
the Ministry of Education should actually question to find out why this state is not producing anybody from the public schools. That's sad in itself.
Yes, very.
Moving on.
Very, no.
Well, let us find out first. Let us assume. Let's not assume. The Punch, presidential bid, because private schools are doing
yes.
Presidential bid, INEC CBN partnership under threat over Emefiele's APC membership. Picture here, ASUU strike students protest in Lagos, Benin vow to storm the National Assembly and airports. Baptist president begs abductors to release Bethel students. NYSC controversy, Kwara Poly blames hacker, an imposter declared wanted. Abducted train passengers' families seek government intervention. Tinubu Atiku lobby delegates promise to tackle nation's disunity. GSM and FG operators to meet over the 40% tariff hike. Refineries probe, reps grill Sylvia Kyari today, say appearance compulsory. And Jet A1 NNPC Airlines agree on 3-month supply at 480 naira to the litre. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Let me quickly start with the Kaduna Abuja train kidnapped passengers' families. So they are still asking that, the government assist in release their family members. They say today makes it 42 days after the abductions, and it's sad that, family members are still with, these abductors in states that I just better imagine people cannot continue to keep quiet, or government cannot continue to just relax and make statements like the president is always making without something being done. I'll quickly link it to a story in another paper where the Bethel Baptist School students, parents are talking about one student that was left. 121 students were kidnapped in Bethel Baptist School in Kaduna, and they have released only 120 students. They have one person remaining, and I dread to think that, the kind of situation that Leah Sharibu is in will become the situation of that student. Federal government will really, really, really need to take a stand about this. And in the midst of all of this, so much politicking, form buying, and all of those dramas. And
just to the first story you took, to talk about that, they said apart from the 42 days, they want to open the railway lines, and they have not even ensured that they release the ones that have been kidnapped. Yes. That it
or guarantee the security for those that will be going in.
Yeah, security for the ones that will now be taking the train, that it is not fair. And they also complained about the Minister of Transportation, who they said they saw running around the stadium. Saying he wanted
to show his fitness to run for
they say he was still running around the stadium in Port Harcourt when he declared his intention to become president, while there people were still, and it was very, because I even watched it live.
Let me take the major headline very quickly. So Emefiele, remember we took the story yesterday. So INEC, civil society, is that a hot topic?
Yeah, it was our hot topic.
It was a hot topic yesterday now. So in the NBA, civil society, quite a number of groups are really, really worried about his intention to run for office. And INEC especially say that they might have to move their sensitive materials from the CBN vault. You can't be running for office and our
it's supposed to be the umpire that is keeping our materials. So it's straining the relationship. If you recall, he went to court yesterday, and his lawyer, Zekome, had asked that to find out if it was okay to see the constitutionality of him running. However, the court had refused the plaintiff's request, but summoned INEC and AGF to appear before the courts on May 12th, that was on Thursday, to show cause why the CBN governor's demand should be granted. So the case is still on. So hopefully by Thursday we have an idea. But as for now, INEC is quite worried that their sensitive materials are in the CBN's vault, and you are the guy of CBN. The painful part might as well just step down right now. He bought a form with the APC in so-called group's name. he said he didn't have intentions to run, and eventually he came out to go get a lawyer to come and declare, for the court to clear his ambitions, whether he can run.
So it's like
my problem is, within the APC, did they not think of the institutionality of that, you know, the sanctity of that institution he sits on and say, no, you can't run. You can't run.
No, you can't. No, they will collect the form, and during screening, they will screen out the people that don't qualify.
It's a fundraising party.
I need clarity on that. Is it when they screen out, they don't refund? What exactly?
Sometimes they don't
ask the question
during the convention, they actually refunded. So, but we don't know how. They need money right now to run this election. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. You had a story, Papa?
And the House of Representatives on Monday had a meeting. It was a stakeholders meeting to discuss the challenges of Jet A1, and the NNPC, as well as have agreed that they will subsidize the price to 480 per litre. So if you recall, the price moved from 190 to 700 per litre, and for the next 3 months, they've reached a middle ground that they would charge 480 naira per litre for Jet A1, pending when they give approval to the 10 agreed marketers for the purpose of importing directly. So there's a bit of peace for now. I'm just a bit worried that who is going to pay for this subsidy that they are creating, because it's supposed to be a free market for this Jet A1. And there was no answer concerning that in the papers, but let's give 3 months and have a bit of stability within the airline operators.
Okay, the major headline. The Senate President, Dr. Ahmad Lawan, has joined the very crowded presidential race within the APC. And this is quite interesting because many have already said that in the APC, there are few northerners vying for that office. You know, it's making it very likely that there might be there's likelihood for them to come down south to pick their candidate. But right now, we have more northern elders supporting Ahmed Lawan, and he picked up his form, his energy, according to them. His entry has sent jitters into the camps of the aspirants from the southern part of the country. And by picking his form, he has further increased the number of the aspirants within the party. And he said that highly placed elders within the ruling party are in support of Lawan, according to this report. He said that they are supporting him because of his wealth of experience and his experience in public service, and the advantage of age has been on his side. Many other sources are saying that this would definitely be the cost of worry for many within the APC who are running for office. We don't know what it will mean, but listen, I cannot wait to the end of this month.
So John, let's even know
who and who, because it's getting so crowded that, in fact, YK, I have applied to pick up a phone.
For yourself? We'll vote for you.
Yeah, because I can't find, but I can't 100 million my brother right now. So please.
Are you registered with APC?
No, yes,
no, they won't let you buy the form if you are not registered. So quickly go and register today, so we can buy the form for you tomorrow.
Still on the presidential ambition story, the vice president was talking about how he has learned so much serving under the transparent leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Who's that?
The vice president.
Yeah.
He said this because he visited he declared for presidency on the 11th of April, and he's been doing the rounds, letting people know why he deserves to be the president. While visiting the emir, he went to visit one of the emirs. I'm trying to get the name of the emir of Gombe, Shehu Abunaka. He mentioned that he wants to run for presidency and that he was going to bring the transparent leadership model that he has experienced serving under President Muhammadu Buhari to play when he becomes the president of Nigeria.
In that story in Daily Sun.
And there's story now.
PDP and National Working Committee in crucial meeting as Saraki because breakthrough. Vanguard, let's find a story. Not taking Methodist Church parents, students kick against ASUU's continued strike.
That one is story.
2023 presidency, why I won't resign now, CBN Governor Emefiele tells court. Bandits kill 8, abduct many, set condition for peace in Sokoto village. Bamishe, I was raped by BRT bus driver. Witness tells court. Puzzles as Lawan and Sylvia Ayade join race for APC ticket. Nigeria needs courageous leaders to overcome challenges, says Saraki. Train attack, don't resume services until our loved ones are rescued, says family members. That's a fair enough argument. Okay, which story are we taking?
Bamishe, because it seems like we've been quiet. Yesterday, a key witness for the prosecution came to court and named Neka, one of those who was in the series of abuse by that bus driver. So she said she too had boarded his bus to somewhere in Jakonde in Aja, and he did the same thing to her. He held a knife to her neck and threatened to kill her if she doesn't give in to his sexual advances, which she refused. He tore her clothes while strangling her and raped her as well. And he said, in her words, she said, he said to her, if I kill you and dump your body, nothing will happen. And, you know, so I'm appreciative of the fact that the line of the story that we followed at the time when it was trending is, you know, was investigated and is being used by the prosecution in court. Hopefully, we can lock down this. Before reporters start to carry stories like this and make it sensational by saying it's ritual killing and all of that, it is a murder and a rape case. And so let's start to report crimes like that, murders and rape, so that people don't get excited over nothing, thinking there's ritualism for money and all of those possibilities.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to take the story of the bandits that killed 8 in Sokoto. They raided the village, the Takalime village in Gotoyonyo, in Sokoto, and they killed 8 people and they abducted many. They said that when they came, you know, they killed one of the villagers, his wife and his daughter were killed, and they attacked. The villagers rallied themselves and attacked the bandits, and when they killed 3. And when the bandits realized that they killed 3 of them, they now killed them.
Yeah, they killed all the ones that they had. Yeah,
and then they abducted many, and I think they killed some that were even in captivity, because that was just a reprisal pay. Next time, so they've charged them 10 million, and then another extra 10 million as levy. And I think they said one of the saddest parts of it is that one of the bandits is their own from their village.
So they know.
It's from their village and he lives with his parents.
But they're recruiting these people.
Maybe the people like idle people.
Okay.
Government will just
relax. Story in Vanguard?
On strike.
Let's move on quickly to the Nigerian Tribune. Race for APC presidential tickets. Fulani Groups pays for Jonathan's forms. Emefiele confirms ambition. Families of trained victims under captivity protest in Kaduna. Bridging cost logistics cause of fuel scarcity, says marketers. Political class united to have power, not to save Nigeria, says cleric. Angers ASUU extends strike by another 3 months and says its home affects UTME in Southeast. Okay, which story are we taking?
Yes, the sit at home. JAM had to move exams for yesterday in Anambra State because, of course, you know, Monday is a ritually new tradition of sit at home ordered by IPOB, and for me this is just so sad. You know, in Soludo Zone Anambra now, this still continues. I'm just hoping that something really serious can be done to curb this. Monday is the first day of the week, and we know these are very industrious people compared to sit at home over what, you know, they might not even buy into anymore.
Well, my one is that IPOB say it's not them. So who is
in the sit at home?
IPOB say it's not them.
Is it unknown government?
All right, so let's take a final story. At the hour's 35th Petroleum Service, Vika, let me get his name here, Vika Enike, was saying that all the political class are just going up and down, trying to fulfill their political desires, but not in the interest and welfare of the people. So all this clamoring for presidency is not so much about Nigeria moving forward, it's all about their own political ambitions. And it was quite saddened to say that we must reverse this trend. He said that there must emerge a system that will throw up quality leaders, leaders who are there indeed for Nigerians, not just for their own personal political ambitions. I mean, this is something many people will probably agree with, that the frenzy we are seeing, everybody running for 100 million naira, like, it's 10 million naira, it's just it's watering down the entire the office of the president. It's saying, like, it's like any Tom, Dick, and Harry just can't run for office.
It could also be that we have a lot of eligible people. But let me take this important story from Oyo State government. The reintroduced history in the school system. The executive chairman of the Oyo State University Basic Education Fund, Dr. Nureni Adeniro, was overseeing the resumption of students yesterday, and he mentioned that they were going to be teaching history in all schools now. They said about 4,950 history textbooks are being distributed to all primary schools statewide. And this would really be good, because a lot of us complain that our young people don't understand the history of Nigeria and why it should remain Nigeria or whatever. But when we teach history, we give them a sense of self and identity that I think is
very
important.
And I hope that it's the right history book for that read.
Yes,
thank you.
Very important. Let's go on a break.
Give them Mongo Park discovered
When we come back, we continue with the topic of our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.